I always love hearing Juan's voice. Freddie, you'll be shocked to know that the word dynasty is being thrown around a lot leading up to this week.
Yep.
For you guys, I mean, how have you viewed this season? Just not, I know a lot of focus goes into just winning this year, but viewed the opportunity in the bigger picture of having the chance to win what'll be this organization's third title in 6 years and cement what a lot of people would call a dynasty if you do.
Yeah, I think it kind of started in spring training when, Doc does his, meetings pretty much every morning. And the start of spring training meeting, he was talking about how special it would be to do something that hasn't been done in 25 years. And obviously that's just to get everyone fired up and, excited about spring training. But then as you go through the season and you're just trying to play better than we were, you kind of lose, like you're not really thinking about that. But then as obviously we get to the playoffs and you get into the playoffs and you advance, and then you have the opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in 25 years. The dynasty question I entered, it has come up, and it came up, a few days for me last week. So I think it's special. I mean, I think to be in that position, I mean, it's pretty amazing just to even be considered that. I think you and I were talking, to win titles, three, if we win this one, 3 in 6 years, the Dodgers. I mean, it's like you're looking at obviously the Yankees, but then you have the Giants in the early 2010s, 3 in 5 years. Just winning one is hard. So, uh, Dynasty, I think if you can get three in a matter of 5 to 6 years, I think you can, I guess you could say it is one, but I think it's the sustained winning that the Dodgers have done for so long. And then obviously to cement them with some championships. I think, yeah, I guess you can call this if we do it, a modern day dynasty.
And then, but when you get to play in the World Series repeatedly, like does the anticipation in the days leading up to it or the excitement you feel like, does that change at all? Does any part of it ever feel like routine at all in any way? What
No,
is it? Yeah.
no, not at all. Like getting to the World Series is what we all dreamed about as kids, and to you never know how many you're going to get to, or if it's going to be the last one. And there's so many Hall of Famers that didn't even get to win one, or even get to one. So it's not routine. I'm excited. We have an inter squad game today. Going to get our work in tomorrow, fly, and just we're ready for Friday. So I'm excited to get going. Having 5 6 days off, it's just I wish the days would just go faster so we can get to Friday sooner.
Thanks, Freddie.
Hey Freddie, so we were just talking to Mookie about you guys saw the Blue Jays in August. Can you take any of that information to prepare for this series, or is it just a totally different kind of matchup, different circumstances due to the stage you guys are on the World Series, and also just kind of the highs of the postseason?
Um, th there's not going to be much you can take away from a couple months ago. The only thing is if you face certain guys more, like just over time, it's you're not facing the American League as much as you do with obviously the National League. So facing their high leverage arms, it's not the same. So you can almost kind of just it's two different things really, and the intensity, the heightness of the postseason, the World Series, and I think it's just kind of a little bit different. So I mean, but like a lot of us have faced like Kevin Gausman, Schurz, and we haven't faced Bieber in a couple of years because he was hurt. So I mean, there's just and then obviously they're young rookie that we've never faced before. So there's just some things that you would wish you would have faced them a little bit more, but you don't have that luxury. So I think it's just kind of a whole different thing. And um, but again, it's the World Series and it's exciting and we're looking forward to it. But I don't know if you can take much from something that was 2 months ago.
The last time that we were in Toronto, I got to sit down and have a conversation with your dad and just learning
Hmm.
more about your mom growing up in Canada. For
Yeah,
you to be able to play in the World Series, it's of course starting in Toronto.
yeah.
I know you're playing for the visiting team, of course, but is this something that's going to be special for you and your family, do you think?
Yeah, my dad is obviously gonna head out there tomorrow as well, so it's gonna be pretty special, and I'm not so sure the Canadian fans, Blue Jays fans, will be cheering for me this time around, like it was in the WBC the last couple of times. But it is special. Both my parents are born and raised in Canada, especially in the province of Ontario. My mom from the Toronto area, dad from Windsor. So it is special. It, every time I go there, it just kind of, you just have this like feeling inside that you feel just a little bit closer to my mom. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Every time I go there, I always get this little envelope in my locker, and it's always like pictures of like a third cousin has found photos in their garage, and they bring them to me. So I love going back to Toronto. It's a special place for obviously my family and I, and every time I go back there, I feel a little bit closer to my mom. So I'm looking forward to getting there tomorrow.
Next question is
Hey,
from Phil.
Freddie. Andrew likes to talk about the quality of life being better when the starting rotation is as reliable and good as your guys have been.
Yeah.
How different does it feel from last year when maybe the offense was expected to do more, the bullpen had to carry the load? This year, it's all that starting pitching.
Yeah, I think it's what's so great about this organization. It's back-to-back years, and it's winning kind of different ways. We had Walker, we had Jack, and we had Yoshi rolling last year in the World Series, and then this year we got pretty much four number ones healthy going into it, and that's special. I mean, just kind of like how we were about 5-6 weeks ago, a month ago, like going into the season, the regular season, we were just trying to piece it together, waiting for Blake to get back off the IL, getting Shohei's innings built up, but it was just kind of all in flux. And now everyone's kind of clicking and rolling at the same time. And as an offense, you have so much confidence in those guys to just keep matching zeros or throwing the zeros up where we can, get going. And, because we're all facing the best pitching in the game right now. You're not making it to the World Series without great pitching. So you're not going to be scoring and putting up massive amount of runs. So when you have a starting rotation like we have that are throwing the zeros, they were only giving up one run like we have been, it helps as an offense. You just want to give run support as much as you can. And we've done it differently the last couple of years. And, we're kind of counting on our starting pitching again in the World Series.
All right, let's hit the narrative.
Okay.
How difficult is a 6-day break at this point in the postseason?
I don't think it's difficult. We're facing lives. We faced lives the last 2 days. We got an inter-squad game today. Obviously, the intensity is different than playing in Game 6 and Game 7 like Toronto did, but we're getting our work in. We're excited. I don't think having a 6-day layoff is gonna affect us. I would say we didn't hit that much in the NLDS, and we did okay in the NLCS. So maybe the 6-day layoff is gonna make us hit better.
Have you learned anything since 23 when the layoff seemed to really hurt?
Yeah, I mean, but we had a layoff last year when we won the World Series, so we crushed that narrative, Bill.
Thanks, Freddie.
Yeah.
Next question.
Freddie, just how difficult is it to score in the postseason? Obviously, the pitching is a lot better, but from your perspective, how much difficult is it from postseason to regular season?
It is difficult. I think you see it in the postseason all the time, pretty much every year. It's usually the walk, a bloop, and then someone blasts a 3-run home run. It's very hard to go against number ones and number twos because you're not facing the 4-5 or the guy that comes in the 6th inning where you have like a 4-run lead where they're trying to save bullpens. Those guys aren't coming in. So you're facing high leverage and ones and twos the whole time. And the string 3-4 hits together in one inning in the postseason is extremely hard to do. So that's why you got to work the walk. You got to go first to third. You got to do the little things when you can. So I think we've just done a really good job of playing great baseball the last 3 rounds that we've been in, and then obviously getting the clutch home runs here and there. And I think it's the name of the game for us this postseason has been our pitching. So as an offense in the NLCS, I thought we did a really good job of just manufacturing some runs, tacking on here and there. It's extremely hard to do in the postseason when you're facing 1s, 2s, and 3s and high leverage the whole time.
Got time for a couple
Yeah,
more.
Freddie, obviously so much was kind of made against the Phillies and Brewers just about how many lefties you guys were going to see. There aren't quite as many lefties on the Blue Jays, but what sort of stands out about that pitching staff and the kind of challenges that they present?
Yeah, I think you got it. Well, the one challenge is we're going to face a guy that no one's ever faced before, and they're a young rookie. I think his name's Trey. I don't even know how you say his last name, but facing a guy with that kind of release point and stuff that you haven't faced is always difficult. Then then you got Shane Bieber, who is really, I mean, he's one of the best pitchers before he got hurt, and he looked really good in the postseason so far, and since he's come back. And then obviously you got Kevin Gausman, and then sure. So just reliable guys, and got a guy that they're leaning on now, and they're a young rookie, and then they're high leverage. You got Louis Barlin, you got Sir Anthony in there, you got Hoff, and then they got Little and I think Fluharty too. So they can match up differently. They got righties that can go against our left-handed hitters too that they trust. So it's just a good team, just a really good team that is put together well. They're swinging the bats well. So I think it's just going to be a really good series.
Hey, Freddie, obviously you had the huge World Series last year, and you have guys like, Kike who've kind of built this reputation as October players. I'm just kind of curious, do you think there's kind of anything to that there's certain maybe players who are built better for this time of year who can handle this kind of pressure this time of year, if there's anything to that?
I mean, I think for me, I could tell you the first postseason game I ever had, my knees were shaking and going in, and then obviously as the years have gone on, you just get more experience, and you just realize that obviously there's more cameras, there's more people watching, but you realize that it's just the same game. And once you can get over the nervous energy, I guess you would say, it kind of slows down. And I think that's just experience. But the guys that have never experienced it and do well right away, I don't, because that wasn't me. Like I remember my first one in 2012, my knees were shaking, I struck out my first at bat. It's a different level. It's the excitement, all the work you've gone on that you put in your life, and then obviously when you're in the big leagues in the off seasons and spring training and throughout the year, you finally get there. You just want to do so well. But for me and us, we've had so much experience in the playoffs that I think we're able to curve it and just put our emotions and just be able to put it out on the field and have a good postseason. But Kike, I wish I could answer that, because I wish I could take what he has and just put it all in into the postseason, because he's been so good. It's just so different from regular season to postseason, but he's so good, and I wish we had a magic formula so we can give it to everybody else, but I think that's just Kike.
Last one's from Bob Magno.
With your Canadian roots, playing for that, WBC with Canada, what was your feeling last night just watching that whole country go crazy with the Springer home run and seeing Vlad Guerrero, crying after the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's special. I mean, when you have a whole country that's, behind one team, it's pretty amazing. And then obviously what they've done, they've invested in their team, into that stadium, the visiting clubhouse they've redone. So they've put a lot into the Toronto Blue Jays, and to just see the city come together and get to experience so much jubilation that they had yesterday going to the World Series for the first time, I think it was 30 plus years. So, it's an exciting time, and obviously, my family being from Canada, it's pretty cool, but Body's had an amazing postseason so far, and everyone's Springer's home run. It's just stuff that that they won't forget.